In this video, we're going to take a look at a theorem called the Pythagorean Theorem. The Pythagorean Theorem applies only to right triangles. And when I'm saying right triangles, I'm talking about a triangle where two, what are called legs, two sides, meet at a right angle, an angle of 90 degrees. So this would be called the leg, and this would be called the leg. The longest side is what's called the hypotenuse, which is also the longest side once again. The hypotenuse is always directly across from the 90-degree angle. With the Pythagorean theorem, the legs are side A and side B. The hypotenuse is generally termed as side C. The Pythagorean is given by the equation that a squared plus b squared is going to equal c squared. So basically, the side of each leg squared, this is a, this is b, so a squared plus b squared is going to equal the hypotenuse squared, c squared. So let's take a look at how this is given, or how I can use this to solve for a side. If I am given a triangle where side A might equal 3 and side B is equal to 4, and I am asked to find what side C is, I'm going to start with the equation a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So what this tells me is that 3 squared plus 4 squared will equal c squared. 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, is going to equal c squared. 9 plus 16 is equal to 25. So I'm left to figure out what is c. I know that if c is squared, c squared would equal 25. What I would basically have to do is think about taking the square root of both sides, which would give me c. c will equal 5. On this side, using this equation, since I'm dealing with the actual length of a side, this value will always have to be a positive number. It will never be the negative square root 25. It's always going to be positive because it's the length of a side. So this is one where the value came out evenly. Most times with the absolute value, with the Pythagorean theorem, not absolute value, the Pythagorean theorem, this value will not come out. So, for example, I might say this side is 6, this leg is, let's say 10, and I want to find what c is. I want to find what the hypotenuse is. So I set it up the same way. A squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. And I might say this side is A, this side is B. Okay, they're both legs of the triangle. Once again, this meets our right triangle. I know that 10 squared plus 6 squared would equal c squared. 10 squared is 100. 6 squared is 36. It's equal to c squared. 136 will equal c being squared. I must take the square root of both sides. So I'm left with the fact that c would equal the square root of 136. If I want to approximate this, I know that 12 squared is equal to 144, and I know that 11 squared is equal to 121. So with 136, I am 15 away from 121, and I'm only 8 away from 144. So therefore, my answer will probably be something around 11.6, 11.7 maybe. Okay, and that would be my answer. Okay. A lot of times we're going to leave stuff as the square root and not bother approximating, but sometimes to approximate will give us an idea of the value. So this is basically the Pythagorean theorem. So hopefully this makes sense to you, and we'll do some practice with this tomorrow.